What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be doing an exhaust delete on my car and setting up a new exhaust system, but I'm going to show y'all how to remove these upstream O2 sensors on bank 1 and 2 on this side. You can see they're kind of hidden. What you're going to need is this O2 sensor wrench from Autozone or any of your auto parts store. It's a rental tool, costs you nothing to rent it when you bring it back, not even a penny. Part number right there, 57162. All you're gonna need is this, your favorite penetrant oil. That's gonna be the one that I use, WD-40, and it's not really necessary, but a breaker bar. I have this one that I made here, and then also an extended one just in case this one doesn't reach, but this one will be fine. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get some of that WD-40 and you're gonna spray it down, and then come over here, and this thing is open-ended so it can go right over those wires, no problem. And you're gonna slip it over this. Mine aren't seized because I recently changed them, but some of y'all's might be stuck and y'all deal with what I dealt with when I originally changed them, where they don't want to come out at all. So what you want to do is slip that over there. My flange is in the way because I got it loose right now. Alright, so you're going to want to slip that over there. And then you're gonna wanna apply some pressure. You can see you have just enough room to break it free. And then from there, you can adjust it, put it back on how you'd like. And if you can't break it free by hand, just keep using the wrench until you can. And there is enough room to stick a breaker bar right past the brake booster and master cylinder. So you have room to break it free, and it has a swivel on it, so it's easier for you to get whatever location you need for that breaker bar to fit, depending on if you have all these hoses in the way still or not. And it's so much easier with this. I've tried all the rental tools, nothing worked. No kind of tools, no tricks, nothing, until I got this thing. It took me about 5 minutes and I had them both broken free. I'm not gonna be showing y'all how to do the exhaust bolts because I personally do not recommend doing it. I got quoted $135 at a shop to break these bolts free, and I was planning on driving home with it, but I wanted to be stubborn and try to do it myself, and I ended up getting them, but the car has been stuck here for a day now not driving because I decided to do this myself, and I know they could have done it in probably 35 minutes or less. So I let this soak overnight on those bolts though. If you do decide to do it yourself, this WD-40 penetrant would be the best in my opinion. I tried all the other ones. Nothing seemed to break it free without at least breaking a bolt or stripping a stud. And you don't want that because then you're gonna have to get a stud remover like I did. But also, something that's really critical, so that way you don't throw a P0420, P0430 codes, is these spark plug non-foulers. You can see I got the extended ones online. These are typically a lot shorter. The threads are about right, they start about right here in any normal non-fouler, and you have to drill a hole into the bottom to get the oxygen, the downstream sensors to fit. But with these, they're extended. It has just enough clearance for that sensor to fit in there. No drilling, nothing needed, just stick it in and it's ready to go. And with the downstream side, you shouldn't deal with any kind of problems with breaking them free as long as you have the penetrant oil, and even then, you know, it should be easy with all the clearance that you have down there on the downstream side just to get even an open-end wrench over that. If you disconnect the plug, which I recommend doing all of this when your car is cooled down and has sat overnight. The transmission will be extremely hot, and trying to unplug those sensors will cause you a lot of pain on the downstream. And upstream, same thing. But yeah, that's it. Like I said, take it to a shop if you can, if you want to change your exhaust setup and the bolts have been sitting for 12 years, because it's going to cause you a lot of pain, and you're going to be spending just about the exact same amount that the exhaust shop will quote you to break those bolts free as to buy all the tools necessary, unless you plan on returning them, which I don't recommend, because then the store has to throw them away and you're just putting a business out of $100 or so. But as you can see, it is possible. I got these flanges loose. This one, I'm not pulling the exhaust down until I can get this side loose. This side has caused me a lot of pain because there's not as much clearance with the starter in the way and all these AC lines. But I did have to use a propane torch that burns up to 3,000 degrees. That is very important to heat up those copper bolts or copper nuts up to when they're cherry red, and then spray them with penetrant oil. You will be sitting there with a broken bolt and possibly crying and begging somebody to take you up to the auto parts store, or having to get your car towed to a mechanic. So that being said, take your car to a shop if the bolts are as rusted as mine are. I wish I did, but here I am stuck having to commit. So, but that's all. Y'all have a good one.